As Commander Adams and his crew aboard the now famous Ghost Ship headed out once more to push back these aliens with the aid of newfound allies, one thing was clear: that no lizard-like aliens were going to enjoy our earthly blue gem as a holiday retreat, which in an intercepted alien message report for the Queen from this fraction of reptilians, according to the race helping the humans, this Queen has a particular invested interest in ruling the Quadrant 9, which read as follows. My Queen Kikatis, we have new news on the race that joined the humans, the ones called the Watches, who we thought was already extinct 200,000 cycles ago, and the Seeders of many planets. These are the ones who killed your father in the battle for System Quadrant 9, 40 light years from here. We await your reply with orders on how to use the weapon, the secret one. Oh, and a side note, some of the generals were wondering about tonight's Space Jam concert and if it's still on, because most of the invasion is on autopilot and is doing well, except for the one who we don't dare name. Actually, we don't know his name, still working on that. But the rest is like a dream on easy mode, gaining back some territories in the North Quadrant. Encryption protocols level 5 enable. No silly humans or their help can break that. Send back details soon. End transmission. Commander Adams smirked after hearing this translated intercepted message. Thanks to the newly retrofitted tech that the new friends have given to us to help win the fight. Very useful intel, one of the crew said with excitement to the commander, which he replied, yes, the huge ego on these aliens is a wonder to behold. Now we know that those AI androids are on autopilot. This is going to be our ticket out of this war. With that said, the commander knew that something more lurked in the depths of the reptilian arsenal. What could this weapon be? They seem to have a lot of confidants just to have androids doing most of the raiding on human outposts. Back on the Queen's home world after taking leave from the front line, leaving the somewhat capable General Trivenak in charge, since there was a stalemate with the battle and needed to regenerate, she stirred tirelessly in the chambers of the headquarters, as this was meant to be an easy victory over these tin-can low-life backward space trash, pondering over the General Kazbinkiak's weird and strange death. Her thoughts were conflicting. How could something like that even happen? Then a flash of a memory when she was a young hatchling only about 50 years old, the average lifespan of these reptile ape species with 90% reptilian and only 10% ape, due to some past cross-contamination of DNA, which the origins was unknown, was roughly 1,200 human years, and the Queen was approaching 800, gazing out her window overlooking her world 2,000 light-years from Earth, which was only a short trip in the average reptilian ship. It had everything a queen reptile could want, yet a feeling of unease washed over her from the loss of the ancient territories her father once held. The memory of her childhood flashed again into her mind, while sitting in an relaxing pose practiced for as long as the race had been around, that let healing and memories to flow easily into the body. She remembered the last time she had seen her father before that fateful battle with the Watches, a bi-9 race of turtle-like beings that should have just got out of our way. But no, they had to dig in like a bastard and make it impossible to gain any advancements to win the battle her father had fought in. And at that moment she remembered the last transmission her father had sent back to the overseers, which said, I can't believe what I am seeing. A lone small vessel off my starboard bow, it appears to be helping the Watchers. Wait. How the hell did he get there? That is impossible. Who are these beings? Brace front shields to full power, all available power. Now engineering. Oh my green gizzards, it's a damn gravity wake. How did he do that? It's such a old little ship, but unbelievably fast. Why is the wave expanding out like ripples over the fleet? Then the transmission went silent. The Queen snapped back out of the trance with a jolt, regaining focus. She had a lingering feeling about the lone human ship. And what was it doing all those cycles ago on the battlefield helping the Watchers? More questions arose than any definitive answers. The holopad in her chamber sprang to life and a recognizable face appeared, General Trivenak with a somewhat pleased grin on his face. "We await your reply with orders on how to use the weapon. You know, the secret one. Oh, and on a side note, some of the generals were wondering about tonight's Space Jam concert, and if it's still on because most of the invasion is on autopilot and is doing well, except for the one who we don't dare name. Actually, we don't know his name. Still working on that, but the rest is like a dream on easy mode. Gaining back some territories in the North Quadrant, encryption protocols level 5 enable. No silly humans or their help can break that. Send back details soon. In transmission." "Well, that sounds a little better than when I left," she thought with a slight smirk about the Space Jam concert. "We will have to be doing a lot better than that to get any time off for concert or any other leisure activities. I think my generals have been battling with these humans far too long, picking up foolish habits." Commander Adams and his crew had a new mission, very well suited for the Ghost. The High Command Council contacted the commander and relayed a urgent mission briefing. A new voice came across the comms, one the commander hadn't heard before. "You're new here, have we met before?" said the commander. A quiet but clear voice replied, "No, I am Counselor Credtos. I took over after the great Malachi retired. We need to catch up after this mission. You have been out on the front line for over a year now." Commander Adams thought for a minute had it really been that long, turning to the crew, which were all nodding in agreement. "Well, someone's got to keep these pesky aliens at bay." "Yes, the work you and your crew do out there is nothing sort of marvelous, but we need you to come in after the mission for a full debrief. Things have changed, and we might even get a tour of that speedy ship of yours." His voice sounded slightly strained. The commander, hesitant to answer, clicked the comms button. "Sure, she is not too much to look at, but has a special bond with us, and is the fastest ship in this side of the universe," proudly said Adams. "Well, that's nice. I've sent through the mission report. Get in and out, then return to the council headquarters," waveringly said the counselor. "Over and out." Commander Adams huffed, then turned to the crew and said, "Damn suit-wearing pencil-neck turd nuts. I don't like this guy. There is something up with him." The crew nodded, and the first officer, Jack, said, "Me either, but would be nice to see home for a bit." The commander shrugged, as he could do this in his sleep and didn't care much for shore leave. Apparently, one of the Watcher's light carriers had crashed onto a nearby moon after sustaining heavy damage from the reptilians' barrage. The humans were happy for the aliens' race assistance. But something was clear, that even with their high-tech capabilities, most of it was in the areas of communications and shield technology, no real heavy weapons or war tactics. This is maybe why the Watchers never interfere in battles, or waited so long to help the humans. Commander Adams smiled with amusement, thinking this would be a good time to bring out the old ancient book and teach these space turtles how to fight back and learn some new karate moves. They fight like a rat or something like that had taught them, and they seemed to have a real hunger for pizza, which was strange. The ancient human book on warfare tactics seemed almost as old as the commander and the scout ship, something he must at all costs keep to himself.